The opioid epidemic is a growing problem here in the United States.
Just last year, more than 64,000 people died from using opioids. President Donald Trump declared the issue a national health emergency. With more deadly drugs becoming more popular, there is a worry it will only get worse. In tonight's Eyewitness News special report, CBS 47's Joe Moeller looks into just how bad the problem is here and what's being done to prepare.
It doesn't make me so paranoid, so antsy. I don't get antsy, I don't get paranoid and think somebody's looking at me or cops are after me. It immediately calms me down, makes me calm.
If you look at the numbers, Fresno may be worse when it comes to opioid use compared to other areas of the state, but it is nothing compared to states on the East Coast. Now, those on the front line wonder, is the worst still yet to come, and is nothing done now to prepare?
When I say your name at the clinic, I go, like Jeff, and everyone knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Meet Dr. Mark Lasher.
I've been practicing medicine for the last 20 years.
He works at a local addiction treatment center.
I have duct tape.
Every Saturday, he sets up shop near Broding Park, north of downtown Fresno. He turns this rundown, smashed up, faded yellow school bus into a medical clinic.
Actually, he's at risk for two things when he injects. He's at risk for overdose.
Many times, this is the last resort for those dealing with injuries related to the use of intravenous drugs.
And the other thing he's at risk for are these really bad infections that can actually kill him.
Outside the bus is the weekly Fresno Needle Exchange. Users drop off used needles.
Thank you.
They are exchanged for brand new ones, free of charge. Many out there might think this is feeding the problem. Lasher says handing out new unused needles stops the spread of diseases like HIV and hepatitis. Each weekend they hand out thousands.
We used to go through a box of 100 in less than a week.
This entire clinic is funded by donations, and everyone here is a volunteer.
So we're picking up the mess for the cartels as well as the drug industry.
Lasher says the problem starts with prescriptions, but that can get expensive.
It started with Vicodin or taking them from my parents, and then it just evolved to using heroin.
The problem isn't only in the poor or rural areas.
My story, I'm in recovery of 17 years.
Flynn Anderson is the founder and president of PAIN, Parents and Addicts in Need. The organization refers people to treatment facilities.
Fresno and Clovis is our believe it or not, we're in the midst of this crisis.
PAIN has helped about 1,000 families since 2009.
So, 95% of our clientele is what we call living north of Herndon Avenue.
New and more potent drugs are crossing the border, and they are new worries. Drugs like fentanyl, which is 50 times stronger than heroin.
As a matter of fact, I saw someone admitted to the methadone clinic that I work at just on Friday, fentanyl.
The Fresno County Health Department has created the Central Valley Opioid Coalition.
But there is a strong concern, so we want to make sure we're working together.
It is comprised of members of law enforcement, medical experts, and local educators. There are three primary goals of the coalition.
Educate medical providers on safe prescribing of opioids. Second goal is to increase access of Narcan. And then the third, increase outreach, educational outreach to the public for safe disposal of opioids.
Narcan is a prescription medicine that blocks the effects of opioids. Right now, the Needle Exchange prescribes Narcan. The Fresno Police Department says they will start equipping officers with Narcan starting in January of 2018.
There have been some deaths. I think approximately around 60 deaths in 2016 in Fresno County.
Lasher says all these efforts are a step in the right direction, but he wants more beds available, more treatment centers, more funds. President Donald Trump recently addressed the opioid epidemic, calling it a national health emergency.
We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
Does that change anything? Does that make more beds available in our community? No, it doesn't do any of that.
We ran into Cassandra at the exchange. She says dangerous drugs like fentanyl are already here.
People sell it as like white or China white. They say it's China white, but it's in fact fentanyl.
Cassandra is one of nearly a dozen people we met dealing with the addiction. Like Lasher, she knows the dangers and worries.
It just destroys your life. Like everything they teach you about in school, like about how like you don't do drugs or don't do heroin, you're gonna lose everything you have, and you know, like it's true. Like they're not exaggerating. Like yeah.
And just this year, the state of California split $90 million and awarded it to 19 different opioid treatment centers. Benmark Treatment Center in Fresno got $4.5 million of that. Reporting in Fresno, Joe Moeller, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
So concerning, and
Yeah.
As Flint Anderson said,
Right.
you know, no matter the community, rich or poor, it affects everyone.
Yeah, what a powerful and sobering report. Thank you, Joe Moeller. Still to come.